Hello, this is Nicole from Adaptation Station, and you are looking at a preview of my receptive language task. Enjoy! Okay, so I am filming this for YouTube and Instagram at the same time, so when you see me looking back and forth, that's why. So I'm going to do a lot of the prep right now. So if you already have this, you want to tune back in about 10-15 minutes because Corey's going to show you how to be the student and I'll be the teacher. But if you have no idea how to download it or what it is, keep watching. So I have a bunch of the pieces already prepped, and I know that people really disagree, but I like to print and then cut. I have not had a problem with things peeling. Honestly, things will peel along the way anyways. I'm sorry for not responding to your comments. The phone is far away, so it might be hard for me to see, but I'll scroll through and answer them at the end. So Corey's going to go ahead and start cutting these out for me now, but I'm going to prep a couple in front of you, so if you could cut those out. And then, I just have to double check. Just getting Corey set up. Yep, so you're going to put hard Velcro on the back of all these. Why are you smiling so much? Corey has a cough. He has a cold, and he's embarrassed about it. Tell him that it's fine. It's not a big deal. Let me grab 2 laminating sheets.
Is it hard on the back?
Oh, yes. Someone said that you're the best hubby ever, and that her boyfriend hides when she preps. Corey's all over the prep. Corey's the sped prep king. All right, so when you print it off, you see a bunch of pages like this, and this is where I think people are getting a little confused, a little tripped up, where it says cut off. That is exactly what it means. Where it says cut off, you're going to cut that part off. That's how you're going to make the tabs in the book. So I'm going to go ahead, and like I said, you can cut these ahead of time. Some people are die-hard, I have to cut before I laminate, and that is fine. If you want to do that, I did that for a long time. It's not a big deal. I don't see it worth fighting either way. So I'm just going to slide it in there, and I'm going to laminate it. So it's ready to go. Got my laminator right here, my Scotch laminator. And really quickly while this goes through, if you have no idea what I am talking about, this is the receptive language task. This is what it looks like. I'll give you a quick flip through. It's got sentence strips. It's got icons to talk about. It's got colors. It's got, this one is sizes and shapes, so big, small, tall, short. And this one has descriptive words, so wet, slow, things like that. And I'm using this mainly with my nonverbal students or my students with limited communication to get actively involved in our Literacy Center. I'm working on a blog post right now that goes into my Literacy Center in depth, trying to convince Corey to do a longer video model with me. So if it would be helpful for us to do that, in which Corey played the part of the student and I showed you how I teach, let me know. The more comments I get, the more likely he is to do it with me. And then I'm also going to prep some pictures. I'm making this book for my speech therapist, and so I picked the farm animals with her, because the great thing about this is this does go with my weekly pack, but it's also perfect for standalone. So I'm giving her the farm animals because I feel like that's something that the younger kids probably know a lot about, and they can comment about the color of the animal, the size, the shape of the animal. It's a really good set to have. But with the weekly packs, a different set of icons will come with each book. So I'm going to run this through, and then we'll start cutting out some of the pieces. Corey's already cutting out a bunch of the pieces for me, but I'll cut out some more. So drop some comments. Let me know what you want to know. You can ask me anything, specifically if you have questions about my weekly packs, about receptive language, or about how I get nonverbal students involved. Feel free to ask that, but if you have any other questions, that's fine too. So I'm going to go in and cut this one now. So I'm going to cut the border first. I normally do this with a paper cutter to make a much smoother edge, but that was too bulky to have on the table. Alright, last one. So here's where it says, sorry it's backwards, but it says right here, it says cut off, colors, cut off. Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about. This is all about literacy for nonverbal students. So that's what this video is about, and that's what the blog post I'm working on is about. So I'm going to have a lot of great information coming for you. So people can comment and you can read them. Corey's learning how to do it live. So we're going to cut this off. So you're actually going to cut where it says cut off. So right here, Can you guys see that? That box, I'm going to cut right there. And I cut this line right here up to where it meets the line running horizontal. So made one cut right there. No problem, no problem. I just wanted to update you. I think you're really gonna like what I have coming for the next week, probably. I hope to have that blog post up next week, but I have so many great ideas for you. I hope you're gonna love it. And then I'm gonna come back here where it's the horizontal, and I'm gonna cut again. You're fascinated. Corey's a little fascinated by this. And I'm gonna pull that off. So now I have half of my. Oh, someone said, "Hey, Corey, please be her example student."
Oh, thanks.
He said thanks. That wasn't a yes or a no.
Maybe.
He said maybe. Okay, so now that I have half of that tab ready, I'm gonna come and cut the other half. So I'm gonna go right here on the other side. I'm gonna cut up to that horizontal line. I'm gonna come back here. I'm going to cut again. There you go. Now I have one of the tabs for the book. And you're going to do that on all the pages. So Corey's doing that for me right now. But you're going to cut off, and then when you do that, you'll have all of the tabs that you see right here. That's how you get these tabs. Cutting the pages like this. The next one that I can see being a little bit complicated are the sentence framework pages. So again, I'm going to cut out that whole border. While I'm doing this, let me know if you have any questions at all, but I think when Corey and I do the example, it'll make a lot more sense. Yes, I'm doing fluency stations for nonverbal students, and if you join me again on Sunday, I'll do another Instagram Live, and I'm writing a blog post showing you all about the fluency stations I'm starting in my classroom. But I have 4 nonverbal students participating, and then 4 verbal students participating, and a huge range of areas. So I've got a lot of good stuff coming for you. He's not paying attention, so I'm going to drop on the floor. That's the kind of prepper I am. So, sorry, here, now I'm stuck with this, with the 4 things. Each one of these is a strip, is a sentence strip. So you don't want to go in and cut out all these different boxes. You're just going to cut off the strip. So there we go, I've got my first strip. I'm going to come back, cut off another strip. There we go. Now I have 2 different sentence framework strips. Gonna cut one more time. Now I have all of my sentence framework strips. So we're gonna set these aside, but this is what we're gonna use to build the sentences. And then one tip that I have, can I borrow some of your hard Velcro? Thank you. And you can cut out these pages if you want while you wait. So I take the pictures, and I always, whether or not you cut beforehand or you don't cut, either way, do this. Once you have it laminated, go put all of your Velcro on before you cut it out. You will thank yourself. It goes so much faster. If you hold it up to the light, you can see the picture on the way all through it. Can you guys see that? Like, I can see where the shape is, so I know exactly where to put the Velcro. Just gonna go through and quickly put the Velcro on. And this is the fastest way to prep this. So this Receptive language task comes in all of the weekly packs. So you get this base book and a weekly pack, and then the icon that matches that week's book. But I also sell this individually as a Receptive language task, and you get all of the boards that are included in the weekly packs. So if you don't use the weekly packs, but you think this would be great for your classroom, you can just grab that individual download. And right now there are 10 different boards in there, but I'm adding some more to different sets that you can use, like animals, transportation, school supplies. I'm going to be adding ones for specific holidays. And the idea is, no matter if you're doing this on its own or you're doing it in a weekly pack, you can just prep one book. You can prep this entire thing and just keep it and just keep changing out the icons. You do not need to be printing this whole book over and over again. Prep it once, change the pictures, and you'll be good to go. Okay, so now I'm going to go through and I'm going to cut all of the pictures out. saves so much time to do it this way. What questions do you guys have? Anything you want to know? How many of you are working with nonverbal students? This is an area that you work with, and is it an area that you struggle in? Give me an emoji. Give me a heart, a blue heart, if you work with nonverbal students, and give me the girl with her hands up if you're struggling. And that'll let me know if I need to do some more about working with nonverbal students. And let me tell you, if you're out there and you're struggling, it is very difficult to figure it out. There are great resources out there on TPT, and even just on Pinterest, and a lot of the stuff you can make it on your own, but it is so hard to figure it out. Yes, so you definitely know the struggle. Your son is nonverbal. There are so many great ways to help him express himself receptively. So quickly, for those of you who don't know what I mean when I say that, when you do expressive, that's when you're speaking, and when you do receptive, that's kind of like when you're picking. So if I asked you what animal and you said cow, or you used a device to say cow, that's expressive. If I had to lay out pictures and you pointed to the cow, or you picked up a picture of a cow, that's receptive. What size of Velcro have you found that works best? That's a great question. What size Velcro is this? Hold on, I think I have the bag right here. This is, no, it doesn't tell me. I think it's 5/8 of an inch. Let me look that up, and I will post on my story. I bought from Fanner Supply. I bought one size smaller than I normally do, and it was cheaper. That's why it cost less. But I didn't like it because it was so hard. It was so small that my students really they struggled to get the piece to stick because those dots were so tiny trying to line them up. So I do prefer a slightly bigger size because that's just something that my students really struggle with. I'm not cutting this very nice at all. Emily, if you're watching, I'm sorry. You might have to recut these a little bit. Oh, wow. But Emily's farm animals are now ready to go. Got them right here. We're going to keep cutting out the book. Oh, you're flying through the book. Good job. So Corey is cutting out the last page of the book, and I'm doing the color icons. Then I'm actually going to put this book together for you guys, and then we'll do the demo. Corey's probably going to laugh through the demo, just so you know. He's already laughing. Why are you so nervous? They're so nice. Maybe because I spend my whole life talking to you guys and Corey doesn't talk to you. He doesn't realize how nice you are. Hello, hello. If you're just joining, we are putting the receptive language task together, showing you guys how to prep it. And then we're going to do a quick demo on how to use it. Is demo the right word? I keep saying demo. I think it's the right word. Corey says yes. I'm just not going to talk to them because it's awkward just to sit here silently. And here you go. So, we have the book ready to go. Then we got that colors one. You're going to put it in order. So the first page is receptive language task. The next page is strips. Then icons, and then colors, shapes and sizes, descriptive words. There you go. That's the base book. I'm going to hole punch it. You could bind this as well, but I just hole punch it. And I don't think I can do all these at once. Oh, I only did 2 hole punches that time. That's why. There we go. Just putting hole punches in the book. You could bind it. You could put this in a binder. You don't have to use binder rings. There are a lot of different ways. You could probably, if you were like tech savvy, make this interactive on a lithium board or active boards, whatever you have. I did not line these holes up well. Emily, I'm really not doing so great with your book. Beggars can't be choosers, right? Tell me where you guys are tuning in from. If you don't know, we live in Virginia. So it is dinner time here. We're having tacos. Oh, I didn't do a great job with this book. That's okay. I went, where do you buy binder rings? I buy mine on Amazon. It's cheaper. You can get them at like Walmart or Target, but I find it cheapest just to buy them from Amazon directly. And I can get about 100 for like $8, and that'll bind roughly 35 books for you, depending on whether or not it's 2 or 3 rings. Okay, so now I have the book ready to go. And we gotta add in the soft Velcro now. So this is my recommendation for doing the strips, because you need to get it to line up perfectly. So I'm gonna take this first strip I see, and I'm gonna put 2 pieces of Velcro in. Tuning in from Las Vegas, hello! So it's like 5:22 there, did I get that right? Or is it 4:22? My brother just moved to California about 2 months ago. I'm still learning how to do that time difference in my head. So my tip is to take your strip, put your pieces of Velcro on the back, take the other side and put it on so that sticky side is facing out. Does that make sense what I'm doing? So this is the rough right here. This is the soft. I'm going to match the soft right here. We've got Las Vegas and Canada and Nashville. Where is that? Gran Naria?
Corneria? I don't know where that is.
I don't know where is
I've
that?
never heard of that.
That's exciting. Okay, so, oh, Spain. So, this is so, okay, small world, but my sister-in-law, my brother is getting married, so his fiance is from Seville, and they're getting married in Seville. I'm probably not saying that right, but they're getting married in Seville in October, so I'll be coming to Spain for the first time in a couple of months, and I'm so excited. And so, now that I have this here, with the sticky on the outside, I'm going to put it in the book, push it down, and now it's lined up. It can be really hard to get these to line up, so now it's lined up perfectly, so when I go to put it back in the book, the soft Velcro is already there. So I'm just going to do that again really quick with the other 3. If you're just joining in, I'm showing how to make the receptive language task, and we're going to use it to show you how I use it in a lesson. Modified. I'm not going to make Corey do a 30-minute lesson with me. I know you guys are bummed. Okay. Just putting the strips on right now. Alright, so I have my 4 different sentence options. So I don't need my laminator anymore. So now the next page is icons, and so you're going to want to put all of this soft Velcro, or however you do it. If you do opposite, that's fine too. But you're going to put all of your opposite Velcro on this side. And so there'll never be more than 16 pictures on a page or like on a download, but you want to be able to make sure you can fit 16. So you want to do, I always do 1, 2, 3, 4 across, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 down, and fill in to make sure I have enough room. So can you help me? So we're just going in and putting the soft Velcro on the icons page. Hello, hello. Welcome in. Have any of you tried the receptive language task in your classroom yet? Let me know. If you guys are new, hopefully this helps you feel better about trying it. It really is awesome. It's and I get it, with downloads like this, it's so overwhelming to prep it and to know how to use it, but once you prep it and you know how to use it, it's amazing. Like today, I had students, and some of my students are just beginning to speak, so I used the I see strip, and so they build their sentence, and then I had them say, I see whatever, and they were able to repeat it, and then they were really excited because they talked, and I was really excited because they talked. So it's really fun. So now that we have all the soft Velcro, I'm just going to go in and we'll add the animal, so you can grab an animal. Put it on. And so this is the page that I'm talking about. I think it's going to be good. I hope so for your son. But it's been fantastic. I've been using it for about a month with my nonverbal students, and it's going really, really well. But this is what I'm talking about. This is a page where you'll change icons. So this one is all set up for farm animals, but let's say she's going into a classroom and she's talking about ocean animals. She can take all the farm animals off, put ocean animals on. So now we're just going to do the other pages really quick. So now it's colors. So same thing. We're going to add soft Velcro onto every page and put the pieces in. And it's not super time consuming. I know you guys don't have Corey at home, but it's really not too time consuming to make on your own. And again, this base book, the idea is that you make it once. So you take half an hour to make it one time, and then changing the icons is no big deal. You laminate a page, cut it out, Velcro, add it on. That takes me less than 5 minutes, not even, to change out the icons. So this next page is colors, all the different color options. I have 16 different colors. And this is probably the one that I'm using most often with my lowest functioning students. We're going to put the colors on, because that's something that's easy for them, even if they don't have the skills to maybe describe or even tell measurement, like they don't know which animal is big or how to describe something as being fast or slow. We can look at the picture and determine the color. And so this is where I'm really starting with some of my guys. It's just, we pick out, like today we picked out a sport, and for my little guy that's been struggling with this, he just had to find the color that matched. So he did like the snowboarder, and we looked at the fact that the snowboarder was wearing a blue snowsuit, and he had to tell me it was blue. And in that instance, I actually pulled 2 colors off because it was too overwhelming for him to look at all 16 colors that I have. So I pulled off blue and I pulled off red. And he had to look at them and determine which color it was. And so it's been a good way to get him involved in the literacy group, especially since he doesn't have a lot of that comprehension skill and he's completely nonverbal, but he's still able to tell me. And this is very similar to kind of like that PEX model, if you've ever used that PEX model before, but building that strip and handing it over to ask for something. That's what we're doing here. So these are the shapes and sizes icons. So we'll just run through and tell you the shapes and sizes we have really quick. We have heavy, long, light, fat, thin, tall, circle, oval, square, rectangle, small, diamond, short, triangle, big. Are you missing one? No, that's a descriptive. Maybe there's only, we might have lost one. There might be one more. I'll let you know. And then the last one is the descriptive words. So this part is time consuming. I'm sorry you're having to watch this, but I just really wanted to take it from the ground up for those of you who needed the help. You can start sticking them on and we'll call them off. So we have, for the different descriptions, they can say that something is shiny, that it's hot, that it's slow, that it's fluffy. They can say that it's fast, that it's hard, wet, loud, soft, cool, cold. Oh, chipping my nail polish here. That's fine. Strong, furry, rough, smooth, squishy, fuzzy. Okay. So now we have the whole book ready. And it's only been 24 minutes and we have the whole thing ready. So receptive language test. Now she has her 4 different sentence strips. She has all the animals that she's going to be using to talk about it. The different colors. The different shapes and sizes. And the different descriptive words. Alright, so can you pull your chair around? I'm going to do the demo. He's so nervous, guys. Don't know why you're nervous. They're so happy. They're so nice. Okay, so we're going to do the Winter Games book. And I have actually gotten really into binding my books like this because I like being able to pull this icon off. I've also done, the Autism Helper has it where she binds it on the last page, and I've done that as well. But when I'm leading a multi-student literacy group, I like having this available, and I can just take it from student to student. I really liked doing it this way. So Corey and I are just going to model 2 of the sentences. He doesn't like when I use teacher voice on him, but I don't know how to do a literacy group without using teacher voice. So, we are reading about different winter sports in our winter games book. So let's read the first one. This is sliding across ice wearing shoes with skates on them. Can you find her on your board? Awesome job finding the figure skater. Now, quick note, this might be really overwhelming. I know this is not what I'm supposed to talk about, teaching literacy, but this might be really overwhelming. So for some of my students, I might just pull off like 3 options and then tell him to pick the one that matches. I have a student that definitely cannot process all 15 at a time. That is way too much for him. So we're going to break it down. This is the book that goes with the Winter Sports Weekly pack. Someone asked if this is a standalone book, but this one goes with the weekly pack that's about winter sports. So now that he has found the figure skater, and normally when I'm teaching, because I do have 5 students in my literacy group, and I'm by myself, except for the days that my therapist, is he whining? Sorry, Buster's whining. He doesn't understand why he's not allowed up here with us. I do have my speech therapist pushing into some of my literacy groups, but not all of them. So normally I just read this whole book and then we build our sentences at the end. But for this demo, I'm going to have Corey build them right after he reads the page. So we just read about figure skaters. I'm going to open it up. And because Corey's new to this, and as your students become better at it, they can choose their own sentence strip. But when I introduce this, I would say, okay, you're going to build this sentence. I'm all about student choice, but they have to understand what they're being asked to do. Like, I wouldn't be able to walk in and be like, all right, buddy, let's go. He'd be like, let's go do what? So I said, okay, we're going to build this sentence. And this one says, I see. I'll put it down in front of him. And then I'm going to open to this is the wrong one, obviously, because this is one with the farm animals. Here's the one I meant to grab. I'm going to say, I see, what did you see? And he's got all the options here. So again, Corey can pick it out, but if I was working with the same one I just talked about, I might have to pull off 3 icons from here for him to choose from. So what did you see? Great job. We didn't put any Velcro on it. Oh, I got some. There we go. You said, I see figure skater. Is that what you wanted to say? Awesome job. Or if my students are beginning to repeat, this time you're going to repeat. I know we didn't practice this.
Okay.
We practiced beforehand and we didn't practice this part. But, so I have 2 students that are just beginning, and you see this a lot, they were using communication devices, and now that communication is starting to come out. So I would go back with them and I'd say, okay, now that you've built the sentence, we're going to say, I see skater. Can you say that with me?
I see skater.
Can you say that by yourself?
I see skater.
Awesome job saying I see skater. And that's kind of how we built that in. And if my student can't repeat that, that's fine. I have one student who just hands it to me and says this. And I say, is that what you wanted? Or we'll even have him like tap himself to say, I want to say something. That's what we're teaching him. So all of my students have the sentences and he'll go like this. And I'll call on him and I'll say, do you want to say something? And then he hands this to me. And I read it out. I say, oh, you said I see figure skater. Is that what you wanted to say? And he nods his head yes. And then I give him the prompts. And so I can't even, like, he's participating in my literacy group. He is completely nonverbal. And he, what?
You're talking about me?
No.
Oh, sorry. You were pointing.
It's not all about you. Gosh. He's a student. I'm really excited because he's completely nonverbal and he's communicating in my literacy group. And people are cheering you on.
Oh,
You do a great job. You want to come and be in my class every day? No, he needs to earn a paycheck. Let's make that clear. Okay. So now that he has built the sentence, we're going to read another page of the book, and then this is where the challenge comes in. I'm using 2 different books, and now I'm confused. Okay, so we'll set this one aside. So now we're going to turn the page and we're going to read another one. And it says, this is sliding stones across ice. Can you find this guy? Great job. You'll appreciate this. One of my students, every time I read this page, he shouts out, he's cleaning. I'm like, it does look like he's cleaning. He's actually curling. He's using curling stone, and he's like, no, he's cleaning. I'm like, you're right, he's cleaning. But great job finding that. I don't have that commentary, but I'm teaching, obviously. So now I want you to say, the blank is blank. So this is the sentence framework that Corey is using. The blank is blank, and he has to fill in both blanks. So we're going to say, who are you talking about? Here are all of his icon options. Who did we pick? Good. And now, like I said, I'd always start with color. So if he's playing the part of the student who is just learning how to do this, that's going to be really hard for him to describe the shape and really hard to do description. So we're going to stick to color because he probably can work on that. So this blank is blank. So we said the curling boy, and the curling boy is what color? Blue. Awesome job. Corey's doing a fantastic job. But let's say he wasn't. Let's say I said the curling boy is, and he said pink. Oh, it's not pink. It's blue. Or, do you guys get this one? You're not going to do anything, okay? And I go, the curling boy is what color? Wait time, nothing happens. What color is the curling boy? There's a 50% chance we've taken our shoes off at this point. Okay, so he needs a little bit more help. Maybe I'll say, is that curling boy green or is he blue? Lay it out. Which one is he? He's blue. Nice work telling me he's blue. High five. So this is how I'm using this task in my classroom. This is a great way to get students to communicate, and this is a great way to check for comprehension as well. Hope this live was helpful. You did a great job. I know you were nervous, but don't you guys love when he joins me? It's so much fun. And if you have any questions, send me a message. Otherwise, have a great night. It's time for us to go make tacos. Bye.